Hey Ross, I'm on your MTGA account right now, and I figured I'd earn enough coins to get Jumpstart and then crack open Jumpstart just so you can see what it looks like. So while the deck I'm going to use to earn you some coins is going to be a Redain Life game, it's it just feels like everything just comes together so beautifully. But at the same time, there's some cards that like don't really synergize that well with the rest of the deck. Anyway, right, so do I want to keep this? First, look at your opponent's commander. It looks like they're going to have a bunch of little tiny creatures. So I'm probably going to want early plays. Like Swift Response. Glorious Anthem's fantastic. This guy's amazing. Sarah Angel's just like solid. So yeah, we're going to keep that. We're going to hope that we draw enough lands. Let me think. Is the webcam in a good spot? It might be worth moving that later. Let's see if I can do that right now. I probably shouldn't do that right now. Okay, tap up to 2 target creatures or summon a creature with flying. We'll just leave it alone for now. I'm going to try to fiddle with settings. Okay, they bring into play their commander. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses life. Sacrifice another creature and it gets extra power. I'm not really sure what they're going to be up to. Land is good. Since not really that much is happening yet, I think I'm just going to get a Glorious Anthem out. Let's see what they do. Often green has enchantment removal. Sometimes black has enchantment removal. And white can just exile permanents. Getting 1/1 pests into play. So when you sacrifice those, you gain life. And then you gain extra life. Oh, I lose life because they gain life because of this commander. So I'm just going to destroy their commander, I think. It's tapped right now. Just get out of there. In my experience, white usually doesn't have a whole lot of destroy effects. It has a lot of exile effects. I guess it's maybe about 50-50. Acolyte of Affliction. They put 2 cards from their library into their graveyard. That's what milling is. Then they can return a permanent card from graveyard to hand. And they get their commander back. Sometimes you can choose to put your commander in the graveyard if it's more advantageous to you. So if I get this shield in play, it reduces all damage by 1. So that reduces the damage that their pests do from 1 to 0. There are also a lot of other fun side effects of getting the shield into play. It's really one of my favorite artifacts right now. Okay, commander's back. You gonna attack? Oh, let's start beast. It's a 5/5. They can only attack if they have 1/1. I took 1 damage from that. It's just so funny. So what I want to do right now, Ardenvale Tactician can tap your opponent's creatures to make room for an attack. Let's get a War Leader out. And then it's a 5/5 thanks to the Glorious Anthem. Gives all my creatures +1/+1. Let's just see what they do. I don't really know what my opponent's deck is supposed to do. Anyway, while I wait. Boneyard Lurker. Return target permanent from graveyard to hand. Lots of pulling stuff from graveyard to hand, I'm seeing. Valentine. Non-token creature opponent controls will die, exile it instead. And when you do, you may pay 2 mana to get a 1/1 pest. Like these guys. Why are they attacking? Do they want to get their commander into the graveyard for some reason? I'll oblige. Let's see what they're going to do. Oh, are they going to sacrifice a bunch of other creatures to get extra power? Okay, that gets you up to 5, but you need 6 power to kill the war leader because all damage is prevented by 1. And the opponent is so embarrassed or feels the misfortune of their mistake and decides to concede. That happens a lot. Somebody cast a spell that did 4 damage to all creatures, and I had that shield up, and I had some 4/4s, and they didn't die. I mean, I feel kind of bad, but it's really handy when that kind of thing happens. Okay, so we have 2,000 coins, so let's go into Jumpstart. I mean, that's like 2 days worth of earnings. So let's choose the packets. Enchanted, Elves, or Archaeology. I'm going to go with white cards since your Dane deck is strong and you seem to be a fan of white and you want to make an angel deck. This stuff might go well with angels. Liliana, Tree Hugging, or Under the Sea. I know that Liliana gets you a really good commander. So we're going to go with that. We're going to go white and black, which they call Orzhov. Unless, I don't know, should I pick Tree Hugging just in case there's some mycology related stuff there? We'll go with Liliana for now. In the absence of any other direction, I'm going to get you good cards. Cards that are like more or less objectively good. And Liliana, Waker of the Dead is a card that I see used commonly. So this is what you got. Forced Worship. That's terrifying. Anyway, we're just going to go in and play a game. I was really hoping to get you an angel deck on video. So basically, you try to get at least 2 wins. You get free rares. Free. And then after you get your 2 wins, you can keep playing as long as you like. You can resign at any time. If you resign, you'll have the option to rejoin Jumpstart for another 2,000 coins and get 2 other packets that you put together into a 40-card deck. You get to keep all these cards, and all these cards, of course. The only deal is that a good chunk of these cards that you're getting in Jumpstart are not going to be playable in Standard. Anyway, let's see how this goes. You just kind of it's like deck building by roll the die, more or less, where you just mash 2 things together and you're like, let's see if it works. Okay, we got Plains and Swamps. That's a good sign. Sure, let's just get into this. I don't really recognize any of these cards. This might be good in your angel deck if we made it historic, like your feather deck. Might be good. Actually, no, because your feather deck isn't really going to have a whole lot of artifacts and enchantments. It focuses on fast effects. It's interesting. Life gain. And this is an M21 card, so it could go into your Redain deck. It might be worth it. I don't know. Mind of the Tusk. 3/7 Vigilance. That's not a very exciting card. You shouldn't be paying 6 mana for something that's just a 3/7 that doesn't do anything except be vigilant. Cemetery Recruitment. Return target creature from your graveyard to your hand. If it's a zombie card, draw a card. I think our opponent didn't show up to play today. Should I just stop recording? This is the part where you switch it to 2x speed. White and black together can make a really strong combination if it's done right. You end up with a lot of really good removal. And when I say removal, I mean ways to destroy things or exile things that your opponents have. Let's get a 1/1 lifelinker out. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it looks like the opponent went first and just is not showing up to the game. Either their internet connection's bad or they maybe their kid started crying, had to change a diaper. Sometimes you can click on stuff in the background and it animates. It's going to be the easiest 100 coins ever. I think if the opponent times out like 2 or 3 times, then it just counts it as a concede. Yeah. Magic the Gathering Arena had decided that they weren't showing up to the party. Okay, what do we get you? Cathar's Crusade. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. That can snowball if you have a tokens deck like that. I forget what the elf's name is. I did a green-white elf token deck. That would be perfect in that deck. All right, so yeah, let's go back in. I think after this Jumpstart game, or at least after I get you another win, I can show you how to play the Aggro AF deck, which is a standard deck. So you can play it on ranked. Every month, it's good to play at least one ranked game, because if you play one ranked game, then at the end of the season, it says, here's your reward for being bronze, ending the season in the bronze rank. You get a pack of whatever the latest set is and 500 coins. And that's you get nothing if you didn't play at least one game. Even if you lose, you have to play one game to end the season as a bronze ranked person. So yeah, it's worth playing that one game. Or you could even just concede immediately. When Brindle Shoat dies, create a 3/3 green border creature token. Interesting. Okay, what is all this? Can create free zombies for mana. +1/+1 for each creature card in graveyard. That's not useful right now. I should wait on this. Wake of the Dead, settle the score. Interesting. Gourmand. Sacrifice. Okay. I like. Alright, so let's get Leon's Devotee into play, because there isn't really a better option, and I don't want to just do nothing. Man, Core Spirit Dancer is just going to sit there as a 0/2, because I don't have any enchanted creatures. I should call them auras. Creature aura enchantments. We're not off to a great start. So the opponent might attack with the Brindle Shoat, hoping that I'll block it, just so they can get a 3/3. If they attack with the Brindle Shoat, I'm probably just going to let it through, even though I could destroy it. Okay, well, that's cool. Way to take one for the team, Core Spirit Dancer, that wasn't necessarily going to do anything. This is exactly what I thought. They want me to block their Shoat so they get a 3/3. I'm not going to do it. Okay, mill 2 cards, +1/+1 for each creature card in your graveyard. So if I mill first, if I take cards from my library and put them in my graveyard, that'll make this thing bigger, possibly. Nope, it didn't. What's in my graveyard? Oops, I can't actually see my graveyard. Oh, it just put 2 planes in my graveyard. That's a little unfortunate. I kind of needed land. Wailing Ghoul. It's a 2/3 because Liliana's Devotee gives him 1 extra power. Gives them 1 extra power. What you gonna do? 4/2. Okay. So, okay, it might be worth. Must be blocked. What did they do? Irresistible prey? Target creature must be blocked this turn if able. Draw a card. Well, I guess I'm giving him a 3/3. That's unfortunate. Okay. Gosh, I don't have the land. I put my own land in my own graveyard. I don't have good attacks either. This is not going well so far. If we can get a little bit more mana, then we can start actually doing things. And what's the plan? Oh, okay. Furious Rise. What do we got here? If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, which they do, exile the top of your library and play a like card into the external card with Furious Rise. Okay. So they just get to like stash up a card that they can use. It's almost like having an extra card in their hand that expires at the end of their next turn. Oh, and I get to see what it is. Bloodshot Training. Interesting. Okay. So it has an activated ability that it's unable to use until its power increases. Face of Divinity. Yeah, this would have been nice with the Core Spirit Dancer that I had a long time ago. I'm going to put this on the Wailing Ghoul. Because the Wailing Ghoul doesn't do anything else. When you're worried about your opponent trying to kill one of your creatures, it's good to try to even out the power level of all three. The Devotee and the Elite have decent abilities. The Wailing Ghoul has an ability that triggers when it enters the battlefield, but right now it's no better than just a regular 2/3. Are they going to try to kill the Ghoul? Oof. Okay. I mean, that didn't go great. Man, I want to keep the Elite. The Elite's going to get stronger. I wasn't able to get a free zombie because I didn't have the mana for it, because I'm tight on lands. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out how to move the... Let's see. Move the webcam overlay. Let's try this. That's not working. I'm able to move the X of my webcam, but not the Y. Strange. There we go. Maybe it's not going to fix until... Okay, so what did I miss? Bloodshot Trainee, Fury of the Bitten. Okay, so they were able to get its strength up to 4. This is a huge problem. I don't think this is going well. I think... Yeah, I didn't get another swamp. And they're just going to start picking off my creatures with their Bloodshot Training. I don't think I really have a chance here. Shouldn't have milled my own 2 planes. Should have drawn more swamps. That's what I should have done. Pendrix? Pendrix is... Oh, right. Gosh, I thought I was playing Brawl. Starting to get tired over here. Okay, I don't know what these cards do, but the land selection is good. Swamp, why not? Okay, +1/+2. Aura enchantment. A bat that I can give haste if I have an extra mana. I'm going to play this. It does white. I'm going to pick black. So it enters the battlefield tapped, and I can get a white or a black from it. I didn't have any plays on turn 2, which is why I played a tap land, keeping my untapped lands for like turns 3 and 4 when I actually have things to do. So just get a plains out. Let's get a blighted bat out. So I'm against white and blue. Let's see what they do. What does your deck do? Icky. Brightmare. Tap up one target creature, gain life equal to its power. Okay. Okay. Liliana, Waker the Dead. That's good to wait on until I can protect it. Planeswalkers, you want to wait until you can protect them. Choose it. Okay, +1/+1 counter, or return target artifact or enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. Interesting. What do I actually want to do here? I think I'm just going to get a Trusty Retriever out. Give it a +1/+1 counter. So it's a 3/4. That's pretty good. Attack with a bat. Call it good. Now that I have a 3/4 in play, next turn I might consider playing Liliana. Really, if I can empty my hand, Liliana makes each player discard a card. Each opponent who can't loses 3 life. So if my hand's empty, the opponent will either discard a card and lose 3 life. I don't lose any life if I can't discard a card here. But if I have any cards, I do have to discard them. Okay, Swamp. I've got 5 mana. What do I want to do? So what did they do? Very Valorous Stance. Ouch. Okay. So let's just get a Wailing Ghoul out. Mill 2 cards. It hit 2 creatures. Spirit Dancer and Liliana's Standard Bearer. Okay. Yeah, those cards don't look great. I don't miss them. But that means that Liliana's Leak comes out as a 4/4 now. I think I'll do that. Attack with a 2/1. So face fetters. Fetters. Not feathers. Face fetters. I mean, I can just block your Brightmare. Well, let's see what happens. They might have some kind of trick. I'm just going to let them play the trick if they have one. A combat trick is something you play as an instant to like buff one of your creatures or something. Okay, so this exiles a creature and puts loyalty counters on a Planeswalker. I'm going to get a Planeswalker out. Each player discards a card. I think I'm okay losing my Indomitable Will. I can also just kill their Brightmare, but I'm gonna leave my Wailing Ghoul to block because I just want to get a card out of their hand. Because the cards I have, this one's good, this one's meh. I'd rather lose a meh card and like maybe force them to lose something good. Oh, I don't need to give them haste. Attack. Yeah, I gotta wait until the cursor's on the sword or else you're gonna try to use a fast effect of one of your creatures. Okay, that also pluses Liliana. If she can get to 7, I can basically sacrifice her to get a creature from my graveyard onto the battlefield every time I go into combat. Okay, 2/2 blue Drake creatures with flying. That's not great. Okay, I'm just going to block it. I'm going to call your bluff. Yeah, they don't have anything. They're just like, well, there's no reason to not attack. Maybe they're right there. Okay, so let's settle the score. I think I want to get a flyer out because I don't want these things damaging my Liliana. If I can get my Liliana up to 7 loyalty, oh, right. I got to put 2 loyalty counters on Liliana. Okay, so I'm gonna use her ultimate ability. So at the beginning of every combat, I just get a free creature. Oh, this is amazing. Artifact or enchantment. Okay, so I can get the Retriever out and then actually also get Indomitable Will. Let's do that. Because I could give it +1/+1. That makes it 3/4. Or I could get an Aura back and cast the Aura on it after combat. I don't think they have any tricks they can do for 1 mana. Or they just going to trade. I'm okay with that. Okay. So here, gamer moment. I get a 3/5 instead of a 3/4. How about that? Isn't that worth all the overthinking? I mean, that's fine. Like, I see them looking. You see how the card highlighted? They're looking at my enchantment. Like, if you want to destroy my enchantment, that's fine. I won't miss it too much. Peel from reality. Return target creature you control and target creature you don't control to their owner's hands. Okay, so they get to use the enter the battlefield effect on the Bright Mirror again. I'm not too bothered by that. Well, I mean, I can do this again. Get the Trusted Retriever out. Retrieve an enchantment. Get the Indomitable Will back on the Retriever. And I get another free creature just to show up with haste, no less. This is amazing. Okay, let's get the bat. Bat attack. It's really kind of a shame they put a Faith's Fetters on my Liliana's Elite, but... Oh, what's this? Prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to you and creatures you control. Whenever non-token creature enters the battlefield and you control, create a 2/2 white unicorn. It's a unicorn themed deck. Okay, they're not doing the why not attack. I mean, I'm going to get a free creature every turn. Like, the opponent's in huge trouble. Okay, let's get a Standard Bearer out. I should have saved the Indomitable Will for my core Spirit Dancer. Oops. And I'm okay if they want to trade. If they want to block my Standard Bearer with their Bright Mirror, that's fine. Because I'm going to get the Standard Bearer back next turn for free. They're not going to get that unicorn back unless it's got some kind of spell to do so. But even then, it's going to use up a card. It's going to use up mana. It doesn't use up either for me. But on the other hand, like, they got to do something to stay alive. I would have probably conceded as soon as my opponent had this emblem, because I don't think there's any coming back from my opponent. I think the game was decided the second I was able to ultimate my Liliana. They get a... I mean, they can get a free unicorn every turn. They can get multiple free unicorns every turn, but I don't think it's enough. Blessed Sanctuary is nice. Okay. Oh, Gourmand. So I have to sacrifice a creature to get Gourmand into play. Watch this. It's going to be amazing. So I get Gourmand in. I sacrifice my Liliana's Elite. Face Feathers goes into my opponent's graveyard. And at the beginning of combat, I can get the creature back that I just sacrificed. Right, you were asking, like, sacrifice is bad, right? When you give up stuff that you have? Well, if you can get it back, then it's not so bad, huh? Tap up to 2 target creatures that untap during your controller's next untap step. So they're going to be frozen for a while. Each opponent has to sacrifice a creature when Gourmand comes into play. And really, if Gourmand ends up in the graveyard and I get him back with Liliana's emblem, I don't have to sacrifice a creature because that's a cost to cast the spell. If he just comes into play from the graveyard, that's an enter the battlefield, so he gets the enter the battlefield effect. So I don't lose a creature, but my opponent does. Put target creature from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. I can get their stuff too. That's amazing. Okay, let's get the Sage's Rose Savant and Scry. Blessed Spirits? No. I mean, it's flying. I'll take it. The opponent seems to not have a very good way to block flying creatures. I'm attacking because I just want to preserve my life total. The Wailing Ghoul's job is to block because it's just a 1/3. I'd rather do 2 damage and even trade with the Unicorn if I have to, because I'm getting the Savant back. I might end up running out of creatures that I can pull out of the graveyard. Just because I just get them back so fast. Macy Unicorn, 2/2 lifelink. That's not going to save you. You even get another Unicorn for it. That's not going to save you. It's not. What a pretty unicorn. Okay. So let's just get this thing out into play. Let's, I guess. Oh, right. Okay. Should I get the elite out? The elite's going to be kind of big. That's good. Let's get the Liliana's elite out. Liliana's elite. Just learning my words. Let's just attack with everything except for the Wailing Ghoul. We're going to hit them hard. They can't block the 5. They can't block the 2. They can block these 2 creatures if they want to. It's going to cost them, though. Actually, I almost want them to block the Sage's Row Savant so I can bring it back into play and scry again so I can get any garbage out of the top of my deck. Yeah. Pendrix. It's nice. It was nice knowing you, Pendrix. I'm so glad we met. You're going down. If I kill the Mason Unicorn instead of the token, Mason Unicorn goes into a graveyard, and I can get it back. Okay. Down to 8, up to 10 from the lifelink from the Mason Unicorn. Next turn, your lifelink shall be mine. I don't blame them. They didn't have a chance. I mean, it was valiant of them to keep fighting as long as they did. But it wasn't going to work. Whelming Wave. Return all creatures to their owner's hands except for krakens, leviathans, octopuses, and serpents. Huh. Interesting. So, there's your 2 wins on Jumpstart. Let's see, what was your daily? Cast green or white spells? Okay. Let's see. All right, I was going to show you the aggro AF. So let's just do some standard bronze ranked competitive gameplay. And you can just see, like, how do you play this deck? The shorter answer is be aggressive. Okay. This is all right. I mean, I got 3 lands. If I was being uber competitive, I might have mulliganed that hand because it only had 1 creature. There's a problem in Magic the Gathering with auras, right? If you put an aura on something and then it gets killed by a murder spell, then you lose the aura and the creature. The opponent just loses the spell they cast to remove your creature. So it's kind of like you lose 2 cards and they lose only 1 card. Auras are generally something to shy away from. I put it in this deck because we're just going to win the game as soon as we possibly can. So at least fortunately, we're going against red. Red does damage. 3 toughness. 1 red mana isn't going to get 3 toughness. So I think I'm going to... Should I put Furor? Let's just put Furor on it right now. Lightning Bolt is no longer a spell, so you can't kill a 3 toughness creature with 1 mana anymore. Let's do Infuriate. That's going to do more damage to my opponent. Storm Strike is good to save for when a creature's blocked because you get that first strike. So you saw it here first. Attacking for 7 on turn 2. Now that's aggressive. They place a land. Oh, tap land. My friend, Dennis, you're in trouble. You are in trouble. Okay, I get the landfall trigger. It goes up to 4. I'm going to cast Raid Bombardment. It's not going to help me right now. But if there's ever a turn when when I don't place a land, the Hellhound's going to do an extra damage. Another 4. Okay. What you gonna do? Scorching Dragonfire. You can absolutely kill a 3 toughness creature with 2 red mana. Oh, this is bad. I can't really do anything without creatures in this deck. I'm paying the price for keeping a hand with only 1 creature in it because I figured it'd be fun to do a ton of damage early on, and it was. Claim Contender. I think I'm going to Fire Prophecy the Claimed Contender, and this gives you the option to put a card from your hand on the bottom of the library. I'm going to do that because I need a creature. Storm Strike's useless to me if I don't have a creature. So I'd rather have a creature and no Storm Strike than vice versa. Okay, they're able to protect their contender by giving extra toughness, but I still get to throw a card away. 2 mountains. I can't do this. Even though the opponent was at 10, when you're playing mono red super aggressive, you come out the gate fast, and like if they're able to set up, then there's a pretty good chance that you've already fallen too far behind and you're not going to make it. I think just drawing 1 creature out of the first 11 or 12 cards in my deck was, while it was largely my fault, it was a bad choice. Waiting for opponent. And Toby Ja. Okay, 2 creatures. I have the Almighty Bone Crusher Giant. Both a removal spell and a creature in 1. One of the best cards in the game. Or I should say, one of the best cards in Standard. Bone Crusher Giant. It's so versatile. There's almost no such thing as a red deck, or even a half-red deck, or even a deck with red cards in it that wouldn't benefit from having Bone Crusher Giant in it. Get this guy out, just use a creature. I'm getting the feeling that like having more creatures in this deck would be better. Almighty Brushwag. I'm just going to attack and see what they do. Okay, that's fine. Since I have to cast, well, I don't have to. It would be more efficient with regards to the number of cards I have to just use the Stomp instead of using a Shock on that Brushwag, because that means that next turn I can cast the 4/3 without having lost the opportunity to do the Stomp adventure. The opponent has 4 mana. I'm nervous. Warden of the Chained. Okay. So I'm going to use a combination of Shock and Storm Strike to try to destroy this. Let's lead in with the attack and just see what they do. Alternately, I could do Fire Prophecy, do 3 damage to the Warden of the Chained, and then maybe drop my mountain put it on the bottom and get something else that's more aggressive than a mountain. They're thinking hard. Or they had to pee. No blocks. Okay. Because they didn't block, that's why oftentimes it's good to attack before you cast anything. Because now I can say, oh yeah, I would have done some kind of trick to get rid of their Warden of the Chained, but instead it was better to just get a Bone Crusher Giant out. I kind of like 10th Street Cadet in theory. Whenever he gets blocked, you get a free 1/1 Goblin. In my experience, no one has ever blocked this thing, though. I guess that's good. His damage got through. Leafkin Avenger 4/3. Okay. Now that I have another creature with power 4, they're able to attack with their Warden of the Chained. It has trample. The Goblin Tunneler can make a creature with power 2 or less unblockable, but actually, I'm kind of indifferent about whether I get blocked here or not. Okay. Okay. The opponent is tapped out, meaning all their lands are tapped, so I can do whatever I want. They're not going to throw anything unpredictable at me. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a Storm Strike on my Tunneler. So now, oh, Frostbite, perfect. That's a direct damage spell. So it's a 2/1 first strike. So meaning if I do 2 damage to the Warden of the Chained, Goblin Tunneler is going to do 2 damage first. The Warden's going to be unable to counterattack, so the Tunneler will survive. Leafkin Avenger, I'm just going to kill it with Fire Prophecy. I guess I could have done that before combat, but sometimes I like trying to be tricky. So this means that both of their creatures are gone, and none of my creatures gone. And furthermore, not only did I not lose a creature, I gained a Goblin because my 10th Street Cadet was blocked. So we'll see what they throw at me now. I've got a Frostbite. It'll do 3 damage to a creature or Planeswalker because I have 3 snow permanents. The snow-covered mountains count. Okay, they're scorching my Bone Crusher Giant. I mean, wah-wah. But the Giant does 2 damage to my opponent just by being targeted by a spell. Neshin Hornbeetle. That's a really good card. It gets bigger if you have a creature with power 4 or greater. So I'm just going to just remove it right now. So I have all 5 mana available to me right now. Okay. Careless Settlement, that's fine. By killing my Bone Crusher Giant, they took out the lion's share of my damage potential in one fell swoop, but I've got other stuff going on. Okay. So they were able to cast the Brush Wag, but they're not able to pump it because they don't have the mana for it. I'm just going to attack with everything. Let's see what they do. It's getting to the point where they're going to have to start blocking soon. Yeah, they're down to 4 life. What are they going to do? So they have 5, 6 mana available. They might get something big out. Fire Prophecy cannot target a player. I can only do damage to a creature with this. So a great way to do what I would call a blowout. A blowout is like when someone puts resources towards something and then has all those resources wasted. If they try to buff their Brush Wag, I can hit it with a Fire Prophecy before the +3/+3 takes effect. So let's see this in action. If they block, I'm going to wait until they try to activate their Brush Wag. Because the last effect that happens is the first one. So, right. Since this was done first, it resolves last. Since the Fire Prophecy was done afterwards, it resolves beforehand. So I'm going to do 3 damage to it, and then after that, if it's still alive, it gets a +3/+3, but it won't still be alive. It's going to be dead. So it's going to go into the exile pile. Double the power? What are you doing, man? That's not going to help you. That's it. I cast Infuriate on something. Their Brush Wag doesn't get bigger. And they are dead. All right, your bronze tier 3. What do we? Oh, we got a mythic. What do we get? Ooh, the Circle of Loyalty. It's kind of a knight tribal, so if you ever want to make a knight deck, that's a good thing to put into it. Interesting. Eldraine. So, I'm just going to get you this. I'm just going to get into a game and cast like 2 white spells. Let's do Redain. Redain is so much fun. I'll just cast 2 white spells and, you know, if the game has potential, I'll play it out. Dr. Acula. Okay, Luminarch Aspirant is fantastic. What am I up against? Violent World Sculptor. Okay, it looks like I'm going to go against like big creatures. So this is good. Luminarch Aspirant, and so it puts a +1/+1 on one creature. This puts a +1/+1 on each creature. So I'm going to keep. Hopefully, I'm going to have enough time to let my creatures make themselves big enough so that they're not going to get destroyed by fight effects that my opponent has. It looks like they don't have shock. The game would have paused at that point if they were able to play a shock and do 2 points of damage to my Luminarch Aspirant. I'm just really hoping that she'll have time to get big enough. Angel of Vitality. This angel, this angel gets +2/+2 because I have 25 or more life. I'm going to attack. Let's be aggressive because the opponent didn't have strong early plays like I did so far. But they're going to start getting really big creatures out pretty soon. I'm going to save the Disenchant for the Great Henge if they play that. Soulseer. Yowza. 5 damage. All right. I mean, that's what they decided to do with their turn. They removed one of my things, which I'm okay with. I'm going to get the shield out. The shield is just hilarious. I'm going to attack because I can do 4 damage. They can do 1 damage with their Cobra because 1 damage is prevented. They might have a green spell that destroys my artifact because there are a lot of green spells that destroy artifacts. We'll see. Green even has creatures that can destroy artifacts. And red also has some artifact destruction. Rada. Okay. I think I made you a Rada deck, I believe, right? You can play lands off the top of your deck. 1 damage. Oh, but that makes my angel smaller. Womp womp. Can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. I'm bottlenecked on mana. I need 1 more land to do some really cool stuff. So, unfortunately, what does this do? Just give it flying? Okay. Well, now you can't do things. So I'm going to leave my Angel of Vitality out. If they attack with the Cobra and they think that they're going to get a trade, then they're wrong, unless they have some kind of fast effect. Oh, okay, we might be completely doomed. But let's see if they attack with the Cobra. No? Okay. They read the cards correctly. Okay. Okay. This is a real problem. I don't think we have a way to deal with Phylath World Sculptor. So we're just going to get a Victory's Envoy out. And just... I don't know. We're not going to win the long game. That's for sure. If we can find some way to deal with Phylath quickly, then we might be able to win the short game. But when it's looking bad for you, you play to your outs, right? What I mean by that is, if you're losing, then think about like the most likely way that you could win and go for it, even if it means sacrificing other options. That's why I attacked with the Angel of Vitality. Because I was like, there's a really thin chance that I might be able to win quickly. It looks like this deck isn't going to gain my opponent much life, if any. So I decided to throw all my effort towards the short game. So they cast Soulseer, but it just fizzled and went to the graveyard. Why? Because whenever you or another permanent you control, like my creature, becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter that spell or ability unless its controller pays 1 mana. They were tapped out and they couldn't pay any mana for it. So they basically wasted their Soulseer. I don't think it matters though. I don't think we're gonna get there. I can get a Serra Angel out. Beginning your upkeep. Yeah. I guess I'll play the Serra Angel and attack with the Angel of Vitality. 13 life is a lot to get through at this stage. The opponent's going to be able to do lethal damage to me. So I'm probably going to be forced into some really disadvantageous blocks in order to just stay alive. And I think that means the game's pretty much over for me. Opponent's turning lands into creatures and fractals here. Wildwood Scourge. Oh, you're just showing off now. Oh, that's interesting. So 4, 8, 12 plus 5 is 17. Actually, it's going to be 3, 6, 9 plus 4 is 13. If I did my math right, let's do a mental math test. I should be at 1 life. Unless they're able to buff any of their creatures, and then I'm dead. Oh, well. There you go. Did. I think I might have been dead anyway, even if I did block. But, got you 750 coins. So you got 1,000 now. We got 5 wins today. That's plenty. Let's see, was there anything else that I wanted to show you? If you play your Ashiok deck, it's an okay deck, but it might pair you with the most difficult enemy decks. It might pair you with Esika decks, which I can show you playing Esika. I've got an Esika deck myself. They're very powerful. Anyway, I guess I hope this was informative and not too boring. Have a good one.